Dancehall reggae is the club music of Jamaica. Wherever you go in Jamaica today, dancehall is blasting from radios by day and by night on sound systems set up in the street. However, in the last few years, it's become the soundtrack of New York streets as well. Always big in the Jamaican areas of New York, dancehall has become the hip new sound coming from Jeeps downtown, with hip-hop fans jumping on the tip. In fact, rap artists have been linking up with dancehall artists for some time now, and ever since Shabba Ranks collaborated with New York's KRS-One, dancehall hasn't looked back. Today, with Buju Banton about to hit the streets, dancehall has crossed over big time.
Reggae was Jamaica's music, and it started out with the Rastas in the hills, Count Ozzy, and people such as himself, drumming out their own Rasta rhythms, on top of which people like Tommy McCook and Roland Alphonso and Johnny Moore and Don Drummond would play jazz type melodies and solos. So it was a fusion of sort of jazz with an African type of flavor on top of these obvious Rasta African rhythms. Ska music was something out of, again, American R&B, maybe a New Orleans type of influence, maybe in trying to capture that New Orleans riff or beat. We came up with this thing by accident, I guess, that we just call ska because it kind of had ska, 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 ska. Once the international doors opened and people like Bob and Peter and Third World and Jimmy Cliff and Toots and the Maytals got that call, and we're now out there in the world on the stages with the big guys who we thought were big guys. We started to try and do things a little differently.
While I was listening to Bob Marley, I was always listening to the DJ style of reggae back then, 20 years ago. People like Big Youth and U-Roy and I-Roy and U-Brown and Lone Ranger and, you know, all the DJs. And this was like as early as, like I said, 1974, 1975, before there was such a thing as rap music.
In the dance halls back then, the blues dances, the sound system dances, you had the DJ, the guy who spun the record. This guy was a toaster. This guy was, his mouth, man, was something else. He made up lines on the spot.
And it became apparent to me that in the wake of, you know, in the aftermath of Bob Marley's death, that there was no next Bob Marley. And while people were kind of searching around trying to make Black Uhuru the next thing or this one the next thing, it became apparent that dancehall to me was becoming the next Bob Marley.
After U-Roy, like Herbie mentioned, and then Big Youth, then there was like a gap there. Then there was a lot of vocalists. Then you had the Yellow Man. Yellow Man really was the first person that infiltrated North America.
Eventually, radio responded to Shabba Ranks. But I think that it was the video exposure with KRS-One of Boogie Down Productions that really made a difference.
It took the same type of train that rap took. It was always underground, and little by little, you know, year after year, it would get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now finally you got Shabba winning 2 Grammys. Artists like Buju Banton getting major deals on major labels.
Do I think that it has a permanent place on the radio? Will it continue to grow? I'm certain it will continue to grow.
Music.
Splash and everything wet up. All the girls them get up, stand up and jump up and pump up.
Music.
Every time, you know the girl them who's a last train their mind. You know why?
Music.
I have never seen a girl who's so pretty and so fair with those pretty little red roses in her hair. Never seen a girl who's so pretty and so fair with those pretty little red roses in her hair.
Music.
He's probably the best DJ out here right now, and will be for a while because he's young and he hasn't even peaked yet.
Imagine this, I'll be playing another record, right? And I'll just mix in one line of a Buju record. Lord of His mercy, and the place is in an uproar.
Buju is to me right now the wickedest DJ ever to hit the scene.
The Prince of Dancehall, soon to be the king.
August 1992. It's 6 a.m. and 50,000 people have been waiting all night at Reggae Sunsplash to see Buju Banton, the #1 DJ in Jamaica.
Are you ready? Veteran crew! All brown eggs and to our black woman too! The brother who said, him love how the girl them flex, is ready to entertain. Are you ready? The first of the awesome twosome. Please help me welcome the new sensation. One of the most prolific hit makers in the history of reggae music. Here comes Buju Banton. Big up all bodyguard crew. Watch out. He's the court. Good morning. Buju. Woman and one stamina that will never die. With the stamina, the girl them no stop cry. Stamina that will never die. All the girl them jump up high. Woman and one stamina that enough for the girl bikini. Sexy body girl on the run cover. Who the hear me stamina that for the girl bikini. Sexy body girl them. And you want Jackie, that a feel road when left you boy. And if I say that a feel road when left you boy. And if auntie, you know she can't take you boy. And if family, watch out, road boy, we oh we are walking. I say we sorry, like a pressure cooker, but lock down and a curry. So we are about the young girl, but take them stamina that will never die. With the stamina, the girl them no stop cry. Stamina that will never die. Hold it.
Buju Banton is a dancehall artist. A reggae act, a dancehall artist, you know?
When you walk on the street, you double one salute. You be on the breast, big man, big youth. Said there is a girl, them ever look cute. Hold up your hand, girl, pick me at the choke.
The name Buju was given to me by my mother, who is a descendant of the Maroon tribe. Now we all know, if for those who don't know, the Maroons were noted because they were very rebellious towards them slave masters. The word Buju is a Maroon word meaning breadfruit. The reason for that name, I have been told that when I was much smaller, you know, I was rather fat and chubby. Which I find hard to believe now, but you know, the Banton came from my mentor, which is Buju Banton. The reception received from the people is overwhelming. You understand? Even from your fellow man that you pass on the street. You understand? It's something to stop and say, wait, there must be something extra. You understand? So you find that you never needed the glasses to see the props was rising, you know? So, which I capitalize on by constantly giving the massive what they want. Which is, of course, hardcore. This upcoming album, which will be released shortly, shows a lot of growth within Buju Banton. Life. At 19, they don't know everything in the world. You understand? So you're supposed to learn, right? And you find that the road out there it's more than broad. So the guidance, and you have some form of inspiration and some form, you know. So bonafide, the things that happen around Buju Banton, it's things that I put into lyrics. I sit back at the end of the day, at the end of the week, and say, well then, what happened? You know, and make that a part of my livelihood. I put it into words that I can enjoy and other people can really enjoy, you know. And at the same time, it is saying, it is giving you a message, but at the same time you can dance to that message.
Bubble to one she now, bubble to one right. I done my this blood flag. Oh yeah, come over with down. Jump around if you love Buju Banton, and if you from if you love Buju Banton.